Just a follow-up for Shaun Clouston. Shaun, of course, you're all business, and we always have to remind you about milestones and where you are on the all-time coaching list in the WHL. But this is your second Memorial Cup at first as a head coach. Will you take an opportunity to kind of breathe it in a bit over the next 10 days and appreciate your coaching journey as well?
Yeah, for sure. And it's actually 3. I was there with Willie Desjardins twice in Medicine Hat, 03, 04, and 06, 07, but it's also been quite a while. We're gonna try to find some balance. I think we want to make sure that we take some things in as a group, as a team. Try to really enjoy the overall experience. While making sure we're ready to go and bringing our best each night.
A question from Carol Schramm from Hockey News for Shaun Clouston. Carol's wondering, how much does it mean to your team to have Don Hay on staff after he led the Blazers to their last Memorial Cup title on home ice in 1995?
Yeah, it means a ton. I think that we had a vacancy heading into the summer, and Don and I spent a lot of time. He was still planning on returning to Portland. He'd been in Portland for 4 years after his last stint here. And we spent some time. We coached against each other a lot over the years, but hadn't spent a ton of time together. And we had some great discussions. We talked about coaching styles. I thought it made a lot of sense for him to come back home and be close to his grandkids, but he's been unbelievable for us. The guys love him. He's an unbelievable teacher in his experience. I think this is 8. I think this is 8 Memorial Cups for him. It's going to be invaluable.
Michael Reeve, CFJC News here in Kamloops. Shaun, your boys haven't been on the ice in a meaningful game in a couple weeks here. How are you going to make sure they're prepared and maybe ready to go? Because the crowd's going to be absolutely lively at those first couple minutes of that game on Friday night. How do you make sure they're in the moment and ready and prepared to play?
Yeah, I think the crowd will help. That is a challenge when you've had a couple weeks off. We gave the guys a few days to go home. We got back in town on Sunday and kind of had an 11-day plan, and we've been working hard to execute that plan each day. We've had a couple of real competitive scrimmages and went after it. I think the start will be incredibly important for us, and we're going to have to work our way into it and make sure we're ready to go early.
My first question will be for the Western Hockey League coaches. In the last years in this tournament, it's been complicated for the Western Hockey League teams in the round robin. What's the key to have success for your team?
Yeah, we're going to use the experience from our staff to make sure that we're ready to go. We address the things that are important. We get our team as prepared as we can. We use the energy of the crowd. We play our game. We knew when we lost out, a couple Mondays ago that we had to get better. So we've really addressed that and worked each day to get better. We know it's going to be incredibly competitive, but I think the guys have some belief right now. It's been mentioned up here a few times. The starts of the games are going to be incredibly important. So we're going to really zero in on the starts.
Another question from Carol Schramm from Hockey News. She wants to asking Matt O'Dette and Shaun Clouston, after your teams faced each other in a best-of-7, what difference is there about preparing to face each other in a one-game round robin than it is to face off in a 7-game series?
Yeah, I think, probably a little bit more similar to, regular season, 2 real good teams. We met late in the season. Both teams had kind of marked those on the calendar. The preparation, the intensity, was a little bit higher. I think it's a tournament, so the energy is going to be a little bit different. The schedule is going to be different. But both teams know each other real well. Hats off to Seattle and the rest of the group here. They're championship teams, and we know that we've got to bring a little bit more, and that's going to be our challenge.